Welcome to Diversity Conversations, where we engage in thought-provoking dialogue to identify leadership solutions to today's most challenging conflicts. Streamed live each week, Saturday 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Hosted by Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Strategist and CEOs Eric Ellis and Tommy Lewis. Join us and add your voice to this engaging diversity conversation.
Good morning, Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, the United States, and the world. My name is Eric Ellis. I'm the president and CEO of Integrity Development Corporation, and I'm joined this morning by my good friend and brother, Tommy Lewis. We cannot hear you, my friend. And I know you've got a lot to say, so we're going to be glad when that vocal, that sweet voice, radio voice.
We'll try it this way. All right. Good morning, Tommy Lewis, president and CEO of Naked Plain Consulting. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Tommy, man. How you doing this morning?
Great morning. Sorry for that choppy start, but great morning, Eric. It's Super Bowl Eve, and I'm nervous, and I'm not even.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So everything is good, man. How about yourself?
Tommy, man, I'm excited this morning, man. That's the only feeling that I really have. All my family's been just waiting, counting it down, man. Excited to see what the Bengals going to do, try to bring home this win. We're trying to take that balance between not being overconfident, but being confident. You know what I'm saying? Confident enough to say we want that win. We expect that win. We're like the team. It's not just going to be good enough to say we were in the Super Bowl. We want to win this thing.
Yes,
and
sir.
So, if they don't, then we'll deal with that. But we really believe that this team has everything they need to bring home the Super Bowl. But before we get into that, because we're going to actually talk about becoming a winning team and some of the lessons from the Bengals that people might be able to apply in their business, their family, DEI councils and committees. I think there's some winning team, aspects that people can take advantage of. But before we go there, Tommy, let's talk about our week, man. How was your week?
Week was good. It was very, very busy. One of the busiest weeks, Eric, this week in a while.
Okay.
We try to stay busy. I will share with you. Sometimes being busy is just trying to win business,
right?
Trying to prepare proposals, and so that busyness does not always equate revenue.
Right, that's right, and we still got to do that.
We still have to do that, absolutely. But this week we took more steps toward kind of finalizing some relationships that will roll out in the next 6 months or even a year. I have looked at my team and really assessed not only myself, Eric, this week, because I was not delegating as well as I should have been delegating.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
my team are ballers,
okay.
Right? They play their position. They play their positions very well, and they've been telling me, throw me the ball.
Right.
So this week, I threw the ball out a number of times, and man, we were scoring left and right. And it wasn't make it plain. So that's how this week was. We are winning. The Bengals will win. Integrity Development is and always will be winning. And so that's how my week was.
I love that, Tommy, man. I love hearing that. This was a busy week for us as well, man. Love what we're doing. Feel a little disoriented because we still have renovations going on in the office. So everybody's been working remotely and haven't had all the opportunities to remind me of things, that ADHD, sometimes they got to hang stuff in front of your face, man, And so my staff's like, I ain't been there to hang stuff in front of your face,
Yeah.
But we have been enjoying the work that we're doing. Did some kickoff training with a new client. And it's a beautiful thing, Tommy, when a prospect is sort of on the fence and not sure if they if they want to work with you, and then they sort of pull that trigger to say yes, and then for you to be delivering training and literally they can see and you can see the value of them choosing to work with you because of the complexity of their team and their environment, man. And so I had one of my team members was sort of observing and sort of watching a couple of our sessions and taking notes on observations that she had around what's landing, what's not, you know, what adjustments do we need to make, man. That was real helpful, man. I just love that feedback. Yeah. But you know, she said, I saw something that you were able to do, Eric, that's really, I don't think we've captured that well enough. Tommy, I know you do this very well, man, is when you have participants in a company that are on opposing sides, and somebody has taken a strong stand on something that, you know, others in the audience are taken back, almost offended. And they're literally looking at you to say, okay, now, how are you going to handle this? Because I would say that people are always judging us to try to determine what side we're on. You know, are you a liberal? Are you a conservative? Or, you know, who are you? And being able to navigate that with some wisdom and in a way that all sides kind of leave saying, you know what, that was time well spent. And I felt like the facilitator was a fair arbiter. I had a chance to have that, you know, experience this week, and I was really grateful about that. Other things that happened, I had a chance to do some coaching with a couple of CEOs this week, and just very appreciative of them being open enough to receive coaching and really sort of shutting the door, Tommy, and exhaling. Yeah. And just sort of saying, number one, I'm exhausted, you know, just being real, and then asking some real questions, some honest questions around diversity and some of the things they're struggling with, man, and being able to take that into confidence and reassure them, you know, and give them some grace and help them to give themselves some grace as they really are trying to move the organization forward. So that's been a great experience. The other thing is, you know, just continuing to work with the water and the exercise. And I can tell you, man, that exercise, you know, it doesn't just lay down, Tommy.
No.
It doesn't just lay down and say, okay, you got us for a month and a half, you good. No, bro. Life is going to creep right back in and try to make that difficult. And so we had to do a couple of evenings because we missed mornings, but we did get it in, man, and we are committed to that. But, you know, that's not, you know, that's not always going to be easy. And I'm also drinking a lot of water. I don't know if I mentioned that to you. That's one of the things that I've known for the last decade, man. And I'm seeing some of the benefits of that. So anybody that's in our listening audience, I want to tell you that your health is one of the most important things that you have. And you're bright, you're intelligent. Make the investment in yourself, in your health and healthy living, because it's like you get a W every day, Tommy, that you continue to do the things that sometimes are the hardest. The hardest competitor that we'll ever face is the one that's looking back at us in the mirror.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fantastic week, Eric, and appreciate you, you know, being committed to the water, to the fitness, right? Health, fitness. And being committed to hearing your staff and knowing yourself, right? Like you said, you know, putting the document in front of you, right? And knowing, you know, kind of what your strengths are, and you too are struggling not being, you know, in place, being engaging with your staff as well. And I'm not by no means speaking for you. I just know you well. And like me too, you know, I get into my space and I'm struggling, and that's why I reach out to you and a few others. But yeah, great weeks.
Right. Because for me, Tommy, I've learned that I have to have kind of order. And so for me, even though with all the construction going on here and stuff, man, I've had to climb up in here, you know, and get to me a spot where I can really focus on my work. I love that. And once I get in any spot, I'm glad to be back up here. But, you know, for all of last week, man, I was in the basement, you know, but glad to be able to show up, lay out my paperwork, and really get engaged in the work that we're doing. You're right, man. It's so important to know yourself and to not spend much time mourning over your weaknesses or shortfalls, things that you can't do well. It really is just a blessing to have a team and other people that have strengths where you may have weaknesses, which opens us up to, Tommy, the conversation today is lessons that we can learn from the Bengals that we can apply in our own companies, our own workplaces, with DEI councils and initiatives with our families. Tommy, I think there's a lot that we can learn from what the Bengals are demonstrating to us around effective teamwork.
So I want to speak about the Bengals of 2021, 2022 specifically.
Right.
And I wanted to reference that because for those who are rooting on the Bengals, they come from the Browns organization. Paul Brown, who first started the Cleveland Browns and then the Cincinnati Bengals. They're playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow against the Los Angeles Rams, who started their organization in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
They were the Cleveland Rams.
Wow.
1937.
Okay.
So they transitioned from Cleveland, Ohio to Los Angeles to give way to the Cleveland Browns and the Browns organization.
Wow.
So there's a lot of connectivity in this.
Right.
But as we land on 2021, 2022 and the Cincinnati Bengals, none of us remembered 1937.
Right.
Let me not say none of us, most of us.
Right.
And so what does that look like for today? Today is a different organization. It's a different team. It's a different culture than it was 20, 30, 50, 70 years ago.
Right.
And so you have a culture today of players that have really no context of losing historically. So that's very important for teams and organizations, that new, fresh, sometimes millennial thinking can be a benefit. And so the baby boomers, or maybe even the veterans, the silent generation folks who may say, I need to see you in the workplace to be able to see that you're working. I need to be able to see you face to face to see how you're feeling and see what you're doing. I need to see you. Hold on. Because right now we're looking at a millennial generation, a younger generation that says we can get the same thing done without necessarily seeing you in person. Just like the Bengals said, we can get the same thing done, if not better, right? Where we made it to the Super Bowl without even remembering all of those sad stories about losing and the Bengals, right? And the Bungles, rather, and all that.
Right.
So that's one. Number two, Eric, is that companies should really look at themselves to see what their strengths are, and most importantly, what are their areas of improvement. Companies and organizations, people are getting in their own way of success, holding, in some cases, too long to history. Back in the day, right? We were this. Back in the day, everybody was the whatever back in the day.
Right.
But what are we today? And these folks on the field, and maybe even our younger generations in our workplaces, our children, grandchildren, just new and fresh, diverse thinking is saying, we're not going to live in the past. We're going to remember it, but we're going to be proactive for the future. And we're creating this new way of thinking, this new winning culture by looking forward, right?
Tommy, that's profound. Yeah.
And the third and final point is around, as we look at ourselves, third and final point, and you mention it all the time, give grace. Don't over criticize too much, Eric. In the beginning of this year, there were people in Cincinnati, and I heard it on the news and just in passing by conversations, folks were very upset that Jamar Chase was, quote unquote, dropping balls in preseason.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Not the regular season.
Riding.
He was literally dropping balls in practice.
Right.
and folks were leaning in. This is the worst pick ever. Right? slow down, pump your brakes.
Right.
Right. So proper preparation prevents poor performance. We have to go through some things. And he won the Rookie of the Year award. And he said to his coach, to his confidants, to his team, thank you for staying with me, because it was a learning experience in the beginning of the year, right? I became stronger. So we have to look at our development, not with necessarily jaundice or overly critical eyes, right? But eyes of empathy and grace and opportunity for improvement. So we don't want to poo-poo ideas or poo-poo different strategies or even people before they get a chance to get their feet wet and get going and get, in Jamar Chase's case, get running.
Right.
Right. Those are my 3 thoughts.
Phenomenal, man. Powerful thoughts, powerfully relevant for all of us. As you were speaking, I was thinking about organizations' hesitancy and reservation around DEI. And if they're achieving any level of success, even marginal success, sometimes they don't want to make a change. They don't want to embrace anything new because they're afraid that things could go down. What we're seeing is that Joe Burrow, I mean, this kid didn't even need a transition, really. They didn't need a transitional decade, you know, to move from worst in the league, transition to mediocre, high upper end of mediocre, and then finally, no. New thinking, new people, let's go right now. I mean, that's what happens, is that when you bring in people with the right thinking, they don't need transition. Just get out the way and let me go. And that's what we're seeing out of this team, man. I mean, the swag that they're bringing to the city, I mean, it's just shocking. I mean, you see Bengals stuff everywhere. I'm looking at this Bengals stuff and saying, wow, I can't believe I'm wearing it. I mean, I'm like buying up stuff everywhere because now all of a sudden, all these symbols that were symbols, perpetual symbols of failure and loss, are now symbols of success. And so I think that that's a powerful thing. The other thing I'm going to say before I start asking you about some of these key strategies, traits that we're seeing, is that I think that there's something in the culture of football that's shifting as well.
I agree.
I think that we are seeing the NFL sort of making some right judgments around giving the worst team the top picks, because those teams then have the ability to rebalance themselves. What we're seeing right now is the skill level of all teams are going up. And as every team's skill level goes up, and any team can almost beat any team, now you see fans from all over the country begin to get more engaged in this process. I think the collegiate football tournament play could use a makeover. To give these teams that, you know, are not the Power Four or whatever in the Power Five, you know, that other teams can get in, because there's an underdog sort of status that says you got to show me. You can't just claim victory on your reputation. You got to beat me. And so that's one shift that we're seeing. The other, Tommy, is we're seeing now almost all players move past individual celebrations. Where you used to just go in the thing, the brothers would go in there, spike the ball, do their little funky chicken dance, and then get a penalty. The league has shifted to allow celebrations of certain types. And now they're grabbing their whole line, and everybody's got a routine. And now the fans are embracing that part as a collective celebration of something that we've done. And it doesn't signal that they're not serious about the game. It's just an enjoyment factor that gives us all moments to say something good happened, and we own it now. And I think it's beautiful. I mean, to see the linemen come up with their little skits and stuff, I love that, Tommy. I'm enjoying watching the enjoyment factor that young people and others are bringing to the table. Let's go into some of these, Tommy. I think it starts, one of the things that's important about a winning team is you have to have talent.
Yeah.
Stephen Covey talked about having the right people on the bus and then in the right seats. So, talent, the right mix of talent where these guys can play together. Say more, Tommy, about the importance of talent on a sports team and then talent within your own organization.
So as you mentioned with Stephen Covey and the analogy around the bus, that is very important because that's really what is the direction, mission, purpose, desired outcome for the organization. And that can be the company, the institution, it can be the department, it can be any of that, the team. So if we're looking at the desired mutual outcome, Eric, then we look at talent and the variety and diversity of the mix of talent as people on the bus toward the same direction. What happens is when we are incorrectly assessing talent, we're looking at the talent through our own lens and maybe our own backgrounds. And so we then place categories on that different talent, such as we want to have the best talent versus diverse talent, right? Whoa. So are you saying that diverse talent is not the best? In other words, people that say that, they are.
Right.
We say things like we want to make sure that our talent is a good fit with the organization.
Right.
That's the organization from when we were on the bicycle 10 or 20 years ago. Right now, we're on the bus, right? So the bicycle, we can have one, maybe two, maybe a strong 3 people.
Right.
Right. But the bus, we can have 50, 60. We can have that mega bus, right? We can maybe be even on a plane just going into the stratosphere. But now when we look at the mix, we really do have to look at what can that talent bring to the organization beyond what I can see myself, beyond what I can see. So that will open up that opportunity for the mix in talent.
That's powerful. And I'll stray just a little bit to talk about the opponents, man, and to highlight Odell Beckham.
Yep.
A kid that has tremendous talent, but everybody was trying to judge him from afar and always trying to look, it's easy to stereotype us as be showboaty and all of that and not a team player. And this kid has come to the Rams and really meshed in beautifully. They love him there. The last team he was on, his quarterback loved him. I think he was with Brady or something. And so, but he's in a place right now that he fits beautifully. He's happy and he's doing a great job. He's got great talent. And so that's interesting to watch. On the Bengals, we're seeing a lot of talent in a lot of places and, us being willing to celebrate all that talent as well. Next, we talk about belief, a belief that you can win. This is a general sense that you are capable of winning games or being successful. So sort of a belief. What's the importance of belief? How are we seeing that play itself out in terms of the Bengals?
It's a mindset, Eric. We talk about mindset a lot, and it's a great catchphrase. It's a word that we can pull real quick from the sky and throw it on someone. Right. But in reality, it is a psychological health perspective. When you think and have a mindset of winning, it is psychologically healthy. You begin to fire off on different neurons. You begin to see events as opportunities, even when the event is negative, right? You begin to see them as growth opportunities. You begin to see them as lessons unlearned that when you take a deeper dive in that event, then you will learn the lesson. So when a lesson happens, it's not like, oh, woe is me. It's, hold on, let's go back to the tape. Because I got the mindset of, winning. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see what I did. Oh, I see it, right? Now I'm going to practice, recorrect, redirect, right, and move forward. Now, if I lose again, repeat, wash, repeat, rinse, wash. You know the cycle, right? Do it again. I remember being a quarterback. Again, this is in high school, and we had a fantastic team. And now we won some games, we lost some games, but our team was good. Very diverse group of folks. We had some talent on that team that ended up playing professional football, right?
Right.
And we had some talent on our team that played Division I, Division II football, and then folks like me that kind of expired after high school. But I remember having to either pass the ball to someone or because I was a quarterback, or having to toss the ball or hand the ball off. And if it was a fumble or a drop ball, Eric, I would say, coming right back at you, right? Because I would say that because I had the mindset of winning. And if there was anything critical I could say to sometimes fragile personalities, they would just remember that criticism and would not move forward in self-correcting and performing. So I think that with Odell Beckham, we don't know the whole story.
Right.
At all. He just needed to be possibly in a system with the support that was able to move him to the next level to better his best. All these players are great, right?
Right.
But some of them are just greater than others.
Right.
They're all great. Just had to pull out the greatness out of him as he transitioned from Cleveland, right? And just had a little bit of some sour relationships. Again, not knowing everyone. Just get over there into a program, right? Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. And I would say, Tommy, that you and I both have this winning mentality. I grew up in a very competitive family. That's how my father was. You were competing all the time. I remember when we were in Dayton, elementary school kids, he just lined up neighborhood kids, man, out on the driveway, he'd have his hands out. Whoever won got the lollipop. I mean, we was out there, people just out there, man. He would load up the station wagon, man, take guys to Houston Elementary over by Skyline. Yeah. And we would be competing. And so you grew up being almost bred to compete and to try to win. And I think that I think it's so important for people that are in our community to not let a losing mentality creep in.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes, Tommy, we can be so discouraged by bias and discrimination that sometimes you can almost throw in the towel, man, and you can act as though prejudice, racism, sexism, bias is more powerful than what God has put in you. And I would say that you've got to fight against that mentality. That's a loser's mentality.
Yep.
I never get up each day thinking that I'm losing in life today. I have all that I need. All I have to do is apply myself and what God has put in me. I don't need what somebody else has. I'll take the hand that I have and then make that hand work for me. And I think that's part of what we're seeing in this team, man, is a winning mentality that says that I'm expecting to win. And so I think that that's important. And winning is not just in material things. I think winning is winning the battles that are in front of you. Sometimes it's accelerating some things forward. Sometimes it's just staying on the field. And my kids have been going through, as many families have been going through, anxiety, panic disorder, things that are happening all around us, man. And, sometimes, Tommy, you just have to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Winning is, I'm still here.
Yes.
I'm still standing. I'm articulating how I'm feeling so that others might understand that. But I'm still standing, maybe not even moving forward right now.
Yeah.
Moving forward in terms of how I've defined moving forward. Sometimes winning is just staying here. In other words, headwind of life, Tommy, is busting at you. It's pounding at you.
Yes.
And winning is just standing. And sometimes when it's pushing you back and you're feeling like you're almost about to go down, man. And if you can just hold on.
Come on, Eric.
Sometimes that's winning.
Come on. Come on.
Sometimes.
Speaking to me this morning, I will tell you that staying on the field, that competitive win is speaking to me that I am submitting that I'm going through something right now that, someone's come out of the stands and have tried to hit me on the field.
Right.
And I'm like, first of all, why?
Right.
Right. We are playing the game, right? And so when you talked about staying on the field and being a winner, that spoke to me because I think about how I was raised as a winner, as a team member,
right?
As one that makes a lot of sacrifices for the team,
right?
Because that's what teammates do,
right?
Right. With Jamar Chase, wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, I've learned over an interview over the last couple of weeks that since the beginning of the season, he's taken out to eat nice steak dinner. The receiving core, all the wide receivers, every week.
Wow.
And in that effort to bring that core together to ensure that we are together, regardless of who gets the touches, who gets the yards, we have to work together. And the world knows, and trust me, those who follow football well, Cincinnati Bengals has some of the best wide receivers in the league.
Stacked up, baby. Stacked up.
And they are on the field. And when they are on the sideline, for whatever reason, platooning in and out, they're still on the field.
Still engaged.
Still engaged. What you said, Eric, was profound. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And shout out to our community, Eric. Right. Dr. Wright, Brother Wright, he's chiming in.
Let's see what he said here.
Yes, sir.
Each seed yields after its own kind. So if you are planting seeds of disappointment, despair, distress, or disgruntlement, then you will grow more and more of the same in your life. But if you are planting seeds of optimism, seeds of achievement, seeds of accomplishment, and seeds of positive expectation, then you will grow more of the same in your life. You get what you plant. Thank you, Dr. Wright. That is absolutely what's happening, man, is we are getting what we're planting. And so the encouragement to our community and others, and even to ourselves, is plant strong, good seeds, because then that's what you will get back. That's what you'll grow. That's powerful, man. Thank you for drawing our attention to that. Let's move to resilience, Tommy. Coming back from injury, we've seen Burrow come back from injury, being banged up, versus even Tom Brady, man, who has been a picture of that throughout his whole career. Tommy, I think Tom Brady decided to resign in that last game, man.
You think so?
Retiring that last game, man, when he got punched in the mouth, man. When he saw his own blood coming out of his mouth, and he was trying to say, ref, look at this. You ain't calling nothing on that. And I think something in him said, I ain't got to keep doing this. I ain't got to keep doing this. I got every award known to man. These boys out here no respect. I mean, no respect, man. I got punched in the mouth. Y'all didn't throw no flag or nothing. No, I'm gone. No resilience anymore. I done that. I done my time. I'm done with that. And we're seeing Burrow come back and be resilient. And I want to walk through his season just a little bit, Tommy.
Yep.
So when he first started back, okay, he's out there. We're not sure. Is he going to be all right? He's going to be all right. Yeah. Then the first third of the season, man, I literally saw him a little gimpy and nervous, Tommy. And he would cough that ball up, man.
Yep.
He would just cough it up because I could tell, nobody talked about it much, but I could tell he was saying, I ain't sure all these big bodies running in here. Everybody knows what they want. This ball.
Yep. Take it.
If that's what y'all want, shoot. I can't hold on to that. They're killing people over that. And then he got through that.
Mm-hmm.
He broke through that. And Tommy, they continue to display resilience. In other words, anything that you might see today, you cannot guarantee that you're going to see that tomorrow.
Nope.
Including the offensive line.
Nope.
I mean, they're making adjustments, man, that allow them to be resilient. When they are way behind, they are still resilient. Thoughts?
Yeah. Resilience is number one. I think it's number one. Look, Eric, say you work for a company and things are not going well. You're not getting the promotions that you deemed appropriate and you deserve. You're not getting the advancement. You're not even getting the stretch assignments. You're not getting anything.
Right.
You're getting knocked down. You're on the canvas.
Right.
Now, do you stay on the canvas?
Mm.
Do you stay knocked down? Employees sometimes they get to a point that they say, I'm going to quit and leave.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes employees quit and stay.
Right.
They just stay on the canvas.
Right.
Resilience is getting up
and
in some cases moving on.
Say that, bro.
Getting up and moving on. Now, what does moving on mean? That means you got to take a risk. You may be cushy last 20 or 30 years. You got the you got the retirement, right? You got some pension. You got all this good stuff, and you may have to sacrifice some of that. And you go into that new role and you're a little apprehensive because you just been injured traumatically, right? You drop back in the pocket and in your new job, your new role, and the same stuff is coming at you. And now you're tentative. Well, I can't do this. This may not have been a good decision, right? Oh, I give it up. I'm not going to get into that conversation because last time, it didn't fare well. We just giving up the ball at work.
Right. This is what they want.
Right? And then, because we're still at the job, right? We're just giving up the ball. We're making a little change, and we spend that little change on a Bengals game.
Right.
We go sit in the stands and we watch Joe Burrow, who just had reconstructive surgery, if you will.
Right.
And we see him on the field, and we say to him, he's just giving up the ball.
Right.
Hey, man, look in the mirror. You at work giving up the ball. So resilience is sometimes easier to do, but we can see it.
Right.
But when we looked on the field and saw Joe Burrow, really tentative, just giving up the ball, choking up the ball, getting rid of it, right? And now we seeing him running for 8-10 yards, holding out the ball on the sideline like what? Right. If you're going to try to get me, catch me if you can. The confidence is spewing. Right. From the swag to on the field, all of that. Eric, we as people at work, in our families, in our play, we have to get our swagger back. And that's what the Cincinnati Bengals has done to the Cincinnati market, right? And the people here that's been traumatized over a number of different things. Right. We have to show our resilience and get our swagger back.
Tommy, I agree with both of those, man. I would say that also what we saw in the resilience of Joe Burrow is this kid took 9 sacks against Tennessee.
Woo.
And we just kept looking at it like, is he going to get up again? I mean, it was literally jailbreak. I mean, the first time he said, boom, everybody is coming. They got on him. I mean, it was like Joe Burrow. And we just there. We're looking. All of us are looking. Is he going to get up? Oh, Lord, they're killing him.
They're killing him.
And he didn't say a mumbling word. He didn't complain about his line. He just went on to win. And I'll tell you that you could see that the line took that personal then the next time.
Yes, sir.
You ain't got to tell me don't let him kill his boy.
Yep.
We got this.
Yep.
He didn't out us like that. He didn't put us out there on Front Street. He just was happy to get the win. We were, but that ain't gonna happen again.
Yep.
And so I think that, and I'm going to tell you that, Tommy, that sends a strong message to your team and everybody that's about to play you. Because he said, number one, I ain't quitting. I'll limp my way to the end of the game, but I will be in the game.
Eric
I won't say nothing. I won't blame nobody. I'm going to keep fighting with everything. What? You going to lead like that? Man, we going to be there, bro.
Yep.
And then every team got to look at how many times you get to him. That don't mean that. Can you get to him 9 times?
Yep.
May not make a difference.
Eric, think of this. Mark my words on this one. Again, a couple of weeks back, Wendell was on here dropping pearls of wisdom from an analyst perspective.
Right.
You and I just kind of throwing out some opinion.
Right.
Per what you just said, Eric, mark my words. Super Bowl game, first quarter, early in the quarter, right? Joe Burrow's going to drop back. It's going to be a dump pass, kind of a delayed pass in the flat, etc. The defense is going to rush in. It's going to be a dump over. Defense is going to hit Joe Burrow. Penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, roughing the passer. Right?
I see that.
Yep. Watch. They're going to dump it over. He's going to get hit.
Right.
Now, the offensive line did not intentionally want those guys to go in and hit him, but it's going to set kind of the standard that you, to your point of Brady, you're not just going to be roughing up the quarterbacks. Right. Not this game.
Right.
I'll tell you right now, that would be a travesty for the business of the NFL if both starting quarterbacks go down.
Right.
Again, it's not rigged. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that Joe Burrow knows he's resilient and the team does, right? They know it. And so he's going to get hit once. He's going to jump up when the smoke clears. The flags are going to be on the carpet, and the Los Angeles Rams going to be like, I can't come in as hard and ruthless. I'm telling you this, Eric, because I've watched some Rams games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The way they throwing the quarterbacks around,
right?
It is roughing.
Right.
They're not being called.
And you can get thrown out the game now for this.
You can get thrown out the game.
Yeah, because your boy has been claimed so much swagger, man. He's becoming big as the game right now.
Yep.
He's Tiger-esque. Yep. Tiger Woods, Tiger-esque, man. Football's needed a hero in a different way, a different style. This is really a country boy.
Yeah.
But, he's thrown on his pink Gucci's or whatever he's wearing, man, Cartiers. And throw down his cigar, man. And when Avondale says, Joe Burrow, you good in the hood?
You good. When Avondale and all these other, you good. Joe Burr, you cool, man. You cold.
Right.
Joe Burr is cold.
Right.
No, you good. And here's the deal. Eric, and you're on point, man. You're on point today. For real, Joe Burrow, he is good. He is good. The swag that he is about, right? He is that country Appalachian coming from the bottom.
I love that.
Yeah. And there's so much resilience.
There it is right there, Tommy. From the bottom, now we here. That's what I had put on. That's it, man. And that's what everybody in the country is looking at in this team.
Yep.
From the bottom, now we here. And there's a pent-up frustration in that. So what that says about teamwork is that when you get the right mindset, the right mentality, the right leader, then you can realize that nobody can tell you what your future holds. The Bengals, I think all season long, man, this is where they were eyeing to get to. Yeah. After every win, they would say, don't get too excited about that. So I say part of the attributes of a winning team is that they don't let the wins take them too high or the lows take them too low.
Indeed.
They're just kind of balanced. And it's a sense of unfinished business. That's what they've said after every game. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
Yep.
Now we're going to go there and we're going to get the first win. That's not it. We ain't done yet.
We ain't done.
Second win, we ain't done yet. Beat the Chiefs second time. We're not done yet. And so there's something about a winner that they are not celebrating early, and they're not celebrating falling to a level below what they believe that they can achieve. And this team has assessed what they have, and they're saying, now's the time. Not 2 years from now, not 5 years from now.
Now's the time. Transitioning this comment, Eric, to our world and many other worlds. We could celebrate when a potential client says, do you mind sending us a proposal?
Right.
We can celebrate. They asked us for a proposal. The proposal don't mean nothing at all. Sure, that is a win because we sometimes do not get asked. Right. Sure, that's a win, but that ain't nothing. Right. The potential client says, thank you for sending your proposal. We would like to set up an interview with you.
Right.
We want an interview. We want an interview.
Right.
That ain't nothing.
Right.
So these small wins are indeed important.
Right.
But when you have a mutual desired outcome and you're on the bus as a team, then if the outcome is winning the Super Bowl, not making it to the Super Bowl, not winning the game before the Super Bowl, becoming the AFC champions, none of that. No, those are good.
Right.
But it's not time to pull out the cigar, right? Pump your brakes on it. So in our work, even with those who do not do, proposals and all that, it's just going to work, simply waking up to go to work. That's good, but
yeah.
What is that? I woke up and started to think about going to work.
Right.
Did you make it? No, I didn't make it. I just thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't winning. Going to work, understanding your strengths, understanding your weaknesses, and winning every day. So at the end of your career, end of the business, when you can get there and say, we won. And we know as God-fearing people, when we get to our end of our days, we want people to say, as God would say, job well done.
That's powerful, Tommy.
That's at the end.
That's right.
We got some
winners. We got some winners with us. Joe Jackson, I love you, brother. Played ball at Wright State, a winner. Kendall Wright, winner. Shirley Scott is a winner. Ty Austin, they're all winners. Let me just get a few more things, Tommy, as we have a few minutes left, man. Value every member. What is the importance of valuing every member of a team? I can tell you that from my standpoint, Tommy, valuing them is not just a token thing. Valuing is a deeper appreciation for who people are and what they're bringing to the table. I try to celebrate and value the team that I have. And what that means then is constantly asking them, what else can I do to help enable you to be your best self? You're amazing right now. You're doing some phenomenal things. What else can I do? I see when I did this, that made it harder for you. If I'm not communicating enough what we're trying to accomplish in a week, then you're out there lost. What else can I do? Whenever people have not delivered back what I was looking for, Tommy, I start by saying, how did I not ask for it right? That's what I see, Tommy. Some of it's ADHD, but I always look first at what did I do? Okay, so if that's the result, let's not start with you.
Yeah.
I tell coaches all the time, they don't like to hear this. They go to yelling at their teams about rebounding. I talked about rebounding all week. No. Right. See, learning has not transferred when you said it.
Right.
It transfers when you see it.
Yeah.
So if you don't see it, you haven't taught it. So that's what I know, man, is that when people come back with something that's jumbled, the asker has to make an adjustment. And so I think that this notion of valuing every player, I mean, Joe Burrow, I think, bought diamond watches, man, for all his line. You know, just trying to, and you see these guys, man, have been coached now on whenever you sort of hype them up and give them personal accolades, they throw that off, man, to the rest of the people that have made that possible. Tommy, how important is it for us to value every team member if we're going to have a winning team?
Two reasons, Eric. One, if you really think it's a team, then there are more of them than it is you. You know, I don't even care if it's a team of two.
Right.
You know, you have people that are behind you, behind the scenes on you, and you have people behind the scenes on the other person. Even if it's a team of two, you have 60 degrees of separation. There's 6 people behind that one person, and then 6 people behind the 6 people behind them. It's a multitude. If there are more than one other person, then absolutely there's more of them than it is you. So the value of the team is more on the team and them than it is you.
Right.
Really. I do want that to settle with folks as I think about all the teams I've been a part of. Right.
Hold on, Tommy. Hold on. I ain't done this in a while. I gotta slow that down, man. You said something huge there, man, because sometimes if people are a star, for example, they start reading too much of the press and believing they can do something by themselves. Would you say that again? I think you said it's more of them. Come on now. Say that again.
It's more of them than it is you, even if it's a team of 2. So if it's a team of 5 or 20 or 100 or 100,000, there's more of them than it is of you. And if you consider yourself a part of the team, it will be advantageous to you to value them. Period. You have to value them, because here's the psychology around it. If you do not value them and they turn on you, there are more people turning on you than it is of you. Right?
Right.
So if you have 10 people that you are devaluing, right? You know, this is my world, it's about me, and you all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me, and it's all about me and I. And now you have 10 people saying, but what about us? No, I mean, you all are okay, but it's about me. And then one day, the team of 10, they turn and say, you know, we selected you out. But hold on. Eric, you had my back. No, Tommy, we are all in agreement. So now you've learned a hard lesson, right? Good luck with not valuing the team.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Right. We saw in a couple of games, man, Nixon would go through a hole and then he'd see daylight to the left. Bam! Yep. He hit that daylight. But what we don't often see enough is that lineman that just, boom, blew somebody out that hole, man.
Yep.
Literally blew them out the way. And so if you make the mistake of over-celebrating your touchdown as though that was all you, and you give no credit for the guy that blew somebody all the way out the way so that you could get there, that's just a fundamental mistake. And I love seeing players like, I'm going to even say Kupp from the Rams, and Jamar Chase as well, that will block guys, man, hit guys. That's a powerful thing.
Let me add this real quick, Eric.
Yeah.
About that. Just as we're making these analogies and references to football because of Super Bowl, et cetera, I want to remind our audience, our community, and each other that when we watch a football game, and those who play football, you have what are called skilled players, right? Your quarterback, your running back, your wide receiver, et cetera. These folks scored a touchdown. Now we may have the photo op at the end of the end zone with the offensive team or defensive team, whatever. Please know that in a real successful team, when you watch the game and the running back scores, and he may do his song and dance, whatever, when they go to the sideline, they are thanking the boys in the pit. Why? I tell you this, those boys in the pit, those men in the pit, they don't care about nothing but knocking folks out. Talk to linemen. They don't care really about the celebration, right? They're just waiting to knock you out.
Make no mistake, bro.
And when that running back scores, they run over and say, hey, man, thank you. Say, hey, run my way again because I'm ready to knock somebody else out. That's the value give. I did that a lot. Thank you. I used to talk to my linemen.
Right.
And they were like, whatever, man. We're brutes.
Right.
Right. Just get us back on the field so we can do what we do. And then we'll let you score and do all that stuff. You may be in the paper, whatever. No, we're eating.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because some folks like, well, they don't celebrate whatever. They don't thank and value. No, man. In the locker room, in the film room, they're turning around to the 6'8", 360-pound man who's taking up 2 seats. And they're saying, man, if it weren't for you, I don't know what I'll do. And the big man said, it's all right, little man.
Right.
I know. I've been around it. It's
right.
all right, little guy. You know.
And I'll tell you the other thing that we're seeing as we come to a close, Tommy, is we're seeing the power of support.
Yeah.
When a team starts getting support, man, this thing becomes infectious. And so you'll see Bengals players sometimes when they complete something good, they'll jump up into that front row on at the game, and the fans will grab them. And they looking at them and they looking at them. They're saying, you did this, you did this, you did this. And so what we're seeing is we're seeing that become infectious around our city. We're seeing liberals and conservatives French kissing each other.
Yep.
I mean, we're seeing people just cheering, man. If they see this hat today, yes, go Bengals. I mean, people are going crazy. I wrote a letter to the owner saying, I'd like to work with you on how do we leverage this team unity. How do we leverage that spirit there that's happened in the city right now to sort of move beyond this moment? I find I would call these moments, if we're not careful, Tommy, they're 9/11 moments. 9/11 happens. We all come together in unity for a week or two, and then we back to crazy division. I think there's an opportunity for us in this city, in this divided community. I think there's an opportunity for us to learn something from this bingo team and maybe leverage that to build relationships. Because I think that's the key, Tommy.
Yes.
It's not just shouting and cheering together, but it's getting to know each other, to a level that we begin to support one another. Yeah. When we know each other, when we support each other, we collectively win. We can no longer just allow our sports to be a pleasant distraction from the trauma that we're going through. We've got to leverage these lessons in a much deeper way to help us learn how to live together, man. I know some people might think I'm making that more than it should be, but that's what you and I do, Tommy. This is what we do. And so when we see two worlds begin to collide, because you and I have lived in the sports world and the business world, when we see them begin to collide, man, I think we see an opportunity for us to learn how to support each other. When you provide support in your organization, you get winners. Yep. When you provide support in your community, you get communities that win. And that's what we have right now is the support for a team. The 12th man is showing up, isn't it?
Yes, sir. 12th man. It's time, and the 12th man is due. The 12th man has been there, sometimes with the bag over the head, sometimes just with folded arms, sometimes, coming in, checking in the first minute and then hitting the parking lot. But we need that 12th man. We need him bad, not only in the place to be in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, but from around the world for those who believe not only in the underdog, so I don't really think that the
Right, because the Bengals don't like that tag. I don't need. I'm with them.
I'm with them too. I'm with them too. But for those who believe that even in the last 2 years with COVID, it may have seemed like 30 years.
Right.
We just couldn't win, Eric.
Right.
I would like to offer up that now is your season as well. The Cincinnati Bengals is the example that 30 years of trial and tribulation and disappointments is now washing away with being the season of dreams. You yourself as well, regardless of the last 2 years, 2.5 years, 5 years, 10 years, or even 30 years, your season is here. Be resilient, show empathy and grace, love, and show value for those around you that have not given up on you. We are going to win. We, W-E, are going to win.
Tommy, we'll let that be the final word. Community, we thank you for joining us this week. Watch the game tomorrow as the Bengals win this 56th Super Bowl, and then we'll come back next week with a greater celebration. And we encourage you to continue to have wonderful, honest, open, diversity conversations. Take care now.